Mississippi is in a state of emergency due to an ongoing water crisis. City officials say severe flooding over the weekend damaged a water treatment plant, and now up to 180,000 residents have no safe drinking water and no running water.
That's right. Mississippi, one of the red states that has decided to strip women of their reproductive rights because they purport to want to save lives, doesn't seem to care very much about ensuring that they have a well-functioning water infrastructure so people have access to clean, safe drinking water, which I think you might need to survive, right? To
some
live.
People.
Yeah, not everyone. Anyway, there are some more details to this. Tate Reeves has declared a state of emergency, and here are some of his comments about that state of emergency in a recent press conference.
The city cannot produce enough water to fight fires, to reliably flush toilets, and to meet other critical needs. Please stay safe. Do not drink the water. In too many cases, it is raw water from the reservoir being pushed through the pipes. Replacing our largest city's infrastructure of running water with human distribution is a massively complicated logistical task. We need to provide it for up to 180,000 people for an unknown period of time.
Tate Reeves, governor of Mississippi, very charismatic speaker. I can understand why the people of Mississippi would elect that man into office. Now, the reasons for Jackson's water crisis are in fact complicated, and they include a combination of factors. But at the heart of it, and make no mistake about this, they underfunded the water infrastructure. It's been around for over 100 years with no improvements, and this is what you can expect when you nickel and dime the people of your state and you focus all of your energies on stripping women of their reproductive rights instead. Now, damage this summer to pumps at the main water treatment facility made failure increasingly likely as the summer progressed, the governor said. And flooding of the Pearl River after heavy rains last week affected treatment processes and therefore the amount of running water the system can provide. Now, homes and businesses have been left with little to no water pressure. Jackson schools switched to virtual learning as a result of all of this, and hospitals, remember hospitals, talk about hospitals and schools, they've had to bring in porta potties to deal with this situation because they can't flush the toilet.
Yeah.
The city was already, even before this emergency, under a boil water notice that was actually implemented in late July because of the water quality issue. Again, even before this latest emergency. And now Jackson has run out of bottled water. It's just the gift that keeps on giving, you know? So residents of all ages were seen waiting in lines more than a mile long at Hawkins Field Airport for at least 2 hours Tuesday for just one case of bottled water. The event was supposed to span 3 hours, but barely ran 2 as people were eventually turned away when the 700 cases of water ran out. Can we just address that as well though? So each person who showed up would get 1 case of water. They just had 700 cases of water. So 700 people got some help. No, you guys are really nailing it.
Good.
Yeah.
Look, infrastructure like this can fail in any place, does fail in lots of places. The question that we need to ask, beyond just how can this be fixed as soon as possible for the people who are suffering, is what could have been done to prep for this, what was known that could have informed what could have been done to prep for this, and what will actually be done coming out of it. Because this is the sort of thing that coming out of this you would want to fix to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But we know in red areas, often they don't care how many times the power grid of Texas is gonna fail. It's one thing to say it's a crisis that could happen anywhere, even though in that case it could kind of only happen in Texas because they decided to segment off their power grid. But how are you gonna respond to it? Are you going to invest the money necessary to upgrade your water infrastructure? Are you gonna choose to do that? Maybe Tate Reeves will take it really seriously, but I would say that this is kind of how government is supposed to function. It is designed to maintain enough stability that the economic system can be maintained through a combination of deregulation. Politicians are bought off by the corporations, as well as a healthy dose of oppression for the lower classes. Beyond that, doesn't really matter what happens. If the water goes out, that might eventually affect the rich, but they're gonna be fine for a lot longer than you are. You can be guaranteed of that. And the issue is that every one of these natural disasters is its own unique horror in the present and a prelude to even worse things coming literally every time, I guess, there's a rain season in Mississippi or a fire season in California, or it gets cold in Texas. And these are things that are not rare. They happen every year. They're just getting worse every year because the climate is getting more chaotic every year.